and for today's video, I wanted to talk about Bridgerton, the Netflix Shondaland collaboration. Some may say iconic duo, I say a travesty, a crime against humanity in art, if you will. But that's besides the point. I'm here to talk about the potential I saw in the show, not really delving too deep on the topics I bring up, as I already have other video ideas in the works that will go more in depth on the things that I talk about. I have read all the books and seen all correlating properties. And before we get into it, a quick little glaze session on Julia Quinn's Bridgerton series. They honestly, in my opinion, had a lot of potential. And I was quite sad to see how something that just needed some refining, some dusting off, some cutting, got butchered and thrown into the incinerator that is corporate Hollywood for some cheap change. But that's enough. Let's get into the video. First, let me paint you guys a picture for those who have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, or the season 3 writers, because they clearly forgot what story they were writing.
What am I doing here?
Bridgerton is originally a series of books written by Julia Quinn that take place in 1813 London, where we follow the affluent Bridgerton family, made up of Edmund, Countess Violet Bridgerton, and their 8 children, named in alphabetical order, from Anthony, Benedict, Colin, Daphne,
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Eloise,
Irrelevant.
Francesca, Gregory, and Hyacinth.
Oh, I'm a gummy bear. Yes, I'm a gummy bear.
And their love stories as they navigate London high society. The things that I did like. I may be a hater, yes, and I will be till the day I die. It's my core. But I am willing to give flowers when flowers are due. And I'm not above recognizing when they did good. In no really particular order or anything like that, Daphne confronting Violet was honestly my favorite scene of season 1. Because it was a very needed scene, and I think the books would have heavily benefited from having this scene as well. And it was a really great display of societal oversight on lack of educating women, especially in terms of marital duties. And by having Violet perpetuate that poor lack of education, it really does reflect on her and the society for upholding this and to kind of be moral purity. It was a problem, and I liked the social commentary that it brought to the table. And yeah, it involved so many characters, and it really did affect Daphne. And like, it was nice. I really liked it. One of my favorite things. Mama Bridgerton. And the family. Oh my gosh, one of my favorites. Because if it's titled The Bridgertons, I want to see the Bridgertons. I'm there for the family. Why would I watch Spider-Man just to see Mary Jane? Like, what? I'm there for Peter Parker. I'm there for Spider-Man. And, you know, the first few seasons hit that for the most part. I wish we did get a bit more family scenes as we did in the books, kind of having the love interest interact with the family a bit more. That would have been really nice. The set I did like, but for me, it's kind of a low bar, because how do you screw up 1813 setting? That's like a free space. Those are some things I really did like. Okay, I know I'm already gonna get pitchforks for this, but the Queen, she was okay. She wasn't in the books, and she was okay in the show. I think why I'm really impartial to her is because the storylines that she's attached to particularly do not interest me, and therefore her as a character doesn't really interest me. I did really like her in her spin-off, Queen Charlotte. It was pretty entertaining. I did like it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I really have of her. She kind of is like the same with Lady Danbury for me, even though Lady Danbury is in the books. Plays a role that I think is very ill-fitting, and therefore the character isn't bad. It's just what that role that character plays is. And then that also brings me back to Lady Danbury. I'm currently having her in a floater state right now, where I don't know if she's neutral bad, if she's good. I don't know. She has so many double-edged swords for me personally, because I loved her in the books. She was amazing. I wish we did get more of her, but I don't like that how they utilized her. That's my problem. It's just how they utilize these characters that I just have such a problem with. They're not bad characters. Yeah, I just wish with her they kind of made her own scenes, like made her new scenes, rather than taking scenes that happened in the books from other characters and having her be the one that sort of displays the information or whatnot. A very good example of this is when Simon comes back to town, and she's kind of the one that breaks the news of like, watch out for the ambitious mamas, those dragons, you know? I kind of wish it was actually Anthony that's the one that was saying it, because it kind of was a nice setup for their friendship, a nice backdrop.
We'll use the power of friendship.
Before we actually see him interact with Daphne. That would have been a really nice preemptive scene to have. Kind of just sets the mood, kind of sets the tone. I feel like by us only having one scene to go off of them being besties, it kind of didn't really play into my emotions all that much. I feel like just having one scene where he's like, boss it, it didn't really invoke much in terms of emotion. So this category is kind of weird because it's not like so detrimental. Like, these are such small aspects and such side aspects that they aren't like the big defining things, but they were a knack. Like they were points against the show, definitely. My first entry in this is Lady Whistledown. I think that she was the most misused character. Yeah, I did reference Lady Danbury, but I think it's really Whistledown because she was overutilized in a way.
You got too much dip on your chip.
I feel like her charm was in her subtlety. Her charm was in her infrequency. Didn't specialize her. She wasn't very specialized. She was too much of a focus point. I think we focused on Lady Whistledown a bit too much, and I feel like we kind of got to know her a bit too much. You know what I mean? We liked the mysteriousness of her. We love the who is it sort of it. And then that brings us back to the writers and how they're not really good at writing because they don't even know how to write a mystery.
Oh my God! What is that?
And everybody's like, oh, but people would have read the books and found out who, there's spoilers online and all this and that. And I'm like, that's bound to happen with almost any media that comes from an original source, whether that's from a comic book, whether that's from a novel, whatever. When you write a mystery, the mystery is bound to be solved. Honestly, in my opinion, that doesn't stop people from reading the books. Quite frankly, I feel like that makes people read the books even more because they're like, wait, it's her? What? How? Like, that's the thing. They don't leave room for questioning. And that lends to their poor writing ability. Because if you can't even maintain a mystery that is quite elementary in its conception, I don't know how good you are. That also leads into their pacing. Because they stretch basically the big problem of book 4, they basically spanned that over 3 seasons about, so two full seasons, and then we got to the climax and all that jazz in season 3, which is book 4. It kind of took away from book 4, in my opinion, because that's what made book 4 the hunt. Ooh, y'all, you do not know. I have been rubbing my hands like flies, waiting to get to this one. My despise. I really didn't like the characters. I think that's what was the biggest thing. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like how they depicted them. They were more shallow. They were more two-dimensional and fell into classic modern writing. I'm not saying Julia is modern day Shakespeare. She's no Jane Austen herself. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that you can actually see that she cared about most of her characters, honestly. I loved almost all the female characters. Like, there was not a female character I didn't really like. We don't talk about the males though. But like almost all the female characters I love. Hell, I even liked Cressida Cowper because she suited a role, and I feel like they should have played into it. I have my thoughts on the fact that villains can't be villains anymore, and they hate villainizing women. They're like, there has to be a reason. Behind every evil woman is an eviler man that she has to therefore overcome. Women are humans too. Like, I feel like we forget that. Women and men and all this and that. I'm like, you know, we're just people. At the end of the day, women, there are bad humans, and then there's good. There's people who do things, just do bad things just to do bad things. Other people maybe have a motive. And in that conversation, women are amongst them. There's some truly evil and vile women out there. And you know what? They deserve to be depicted as well. But no, we're too sensitive. We want to tiptoe around everything. Oh no, it's sexist. Oh, it's misogynistic. Oh, you just want to pit women against each other. And women know women. And I'm not saying they hate women just because they know women. No. Women know women. And I'll leave it at that. Found myself hard-pressed to like any of the female characters. I just didn't like the roles that they played in the story. You can like a character but not like their role. And that's what I found myself often feeling like. Violet, I think, is the only character that is the closest to her book counterpart. Every other character, no. Any character you saw on screen is not like their book counterpart. They might be a hollow husk of them, but no, they're not the character. Some are more assassinated than others, but that's a whole nother thing. I will let my biases fly. I prefer the book. I prefer the book's characters and their romances a lot better. I feel like they could have been executed a lot better, and definitely been refined, but I digress. This deserves a special place in my cold heart. And I mean the pits of hell. I hate him with a passion. You will get to know my hatred for this character. Anthony fucking despise this character. And I don't care if I'm the one in a straitjacket, rocking back and forth, screaming on the top of my lungs, saying that this character sucks. Almost every video I've seen, most people say, yeah, I didn't like him in season 1. Nah, I wasn't really feeling him in season 1. But they come to warm up to him in season 2. All this and that. And then there's only been like 1 or 2 videos where I've seen where they actually say, no, I like his book counterpart. Like, his book self, some say they don't really like his book counterpart, which, fair enough. But we're not gonna sit here and pretend. That is one thing we're not gonna do here. Sit and pretend that this man, not even man, this boy is good. He is not. And no offense to anybody, the actor is not my cup of tea. I didn't even have eye candy. I'm like, he wasn't visually appealing. He wasn't, as a character, appealing to me. I did not like all the characters that were meant to be charming and use their charm were not, in my opinion. As a society in entertainment and art have lost charming men. Where are our Damien Salvatores? Where are these men? They're not charming. They're not lovable assholes. They're just assholes. I fucking despise this man. These are just some quick lists of things that I don't like about him. He is a misogynistic, bullheaded instigator who is a juvenile display of masculinity, the bad boy to the extreme, and he is a rake through and through. And Julia, I feel like her biggest goal in her books were to depict that rakes are not all just This video is a perfect explanation on what a rake is, encapsulates what a rake is. And almost all these men, especially him, fit the definition of a rake. We see him not only disregard his sister's emotions and feelings and not caring for her at all. Just like, he does not listen to Kate whatsoever. She says, don't marry her. Don't go through with it. Everybody, almost every woman says, don't do it. You know what he does? He goes ahead and does it. I'm fucking through. I'm done. Comatose. You guys can't tell me that this is a good man.
You're perfect, you're beautiful.
I'm not the writers. I don't write shit in corners like this. Oh my gosh, these writers, oh my god, they like write themselves into so many corners. It's crazy. And like the thing is that, you know, as a writer, you're bound to, you know, write yourself into a corner, do something that like is like, oh fuck, this is bad. But it's, are you skilled enough to get yourself out of it? And that is a mark, in my opinion, towards a good writer. Are they skilled enough to write themselves out of it? Or are they just gonna yada yada their way out to such a degree that you need to fucking be brain dead and a machine keeping you alive to even fucking fathom fucking bullshit they just try to pass as a reason? They fucked this man, and I hate nobody speaks about it. There needs to be more people talking about this. Talking about how shitty of a character he is, and not just being like, ooh, look at this actor, oh my god. And that's what I wanted to say in this video.